Hi everyone, in this video you will see the introduction of Informatica and architecture of Informatica. So what is Informatica PowerCenter? It's an ETL tool which extracts the data from the source, transform it and load the data into the targets. So how the things work in Informatica, this whole thing explained in the Informatica architecture and we will see it one by one. First, you can see the upper part where you can see the sources, and sources can be an XML file or it can be a database. And inside it, you can see the integration services. So, we will just transform the data and we load the data into the target. Target, it can be a XML file or it can be a flat file or it can be a database. Now we will understand this thing by one example. Suppose you have one Excel file and inside the Excel file you have millions of records, and this Excel file is just a student's result records. So what do you want is you want only those rows, only those data you want in which student passed the examination. You don't want those records which student failed the examination. You want only the past score, past records only. So what you will do between the source and target, you will do something. So this is just a transforming. You are having the source which is an Excel file, and you want one Excel file which you will be having only the records in which student passed the examination. So in between the source and target you will be doing something. That is why that is when you will get the particular output which you want. So here that is why we are using the Informatica PowerCenter tool. So between source and target you will be using transformations. You are having multiple transformations, so based on your requirement, based on your logic, you will be using transformation and it will transform the data and it will show in the target or in the output. You will get to know everything in detail in another videos. Here, so what is the integration service? Integration service is like when you execute workflow, then it sends a request to the integration service, and integration service is also connected to the repository to fetch the metadata. If you already installed the Informatica PowerCenter tool, you will see the integration service repository service inside the domain section. You will be having the administration console. Inside the administration console, you will be having the domain section. Inside the domain section, you will be having integration service and the repository service. We will see this thing. And what is a workflow? Workflow means suppose you have one mapping. Inside the mapping you are having source, targets. You are using multiple transformation between the source and target. So you will be having a particular workflow for that mapping. So when you run the workflow, so what it will do is it will take the data from the source, it will transform the data and it will load the data in the target table. Now I am opening Informatica Administrator homepage. You can search it if you already installed the Informatica in your laptop. So here once you will open this, you will get this window and it will ask for username and password. Here you have to give the username and password which you already set while installing the Informatica PowerCenter tool. Here I will log in. And you can see inside the domain section you have the node and the repository service, integration service. Node is, you can see here the desktop name is listed over here. REP is a repository service. IES underscore TRING is an integration service. So now you will get the things like inside the administration console you will be having the domain. Inside the domain section you will be having integration service, repository service. Repository service is just connected to the repository database, and you will be having source and targets, how we are loading the data from source to target, and we are using multiple transformation, we are integrating the data in between. And now we will see the PowerCenter client tools. You can see the icons here RDWM, and we will get to know about each and every client tool and why we are using it. In this diagram you can see the arrow lines. It means it is connected with some connections, like some are connected with the ODBC or native driver connection, and some are connected with the TCP IP connection, and administration console is connected with the HTTP connection. So everything is listed over here. So here these four icons are DWM. These are Informatica PowerCenter client tools. R means repository manager, D for designer, W for workflow manager, and M for workflow monitor. You can search here PowerCenter repository manager and it will open. Now you can see you have different options available here: repository, edit, view, folder, versioning, and everything. And you can see four icons also for different client tools. So this is a repository manager, and you will see repository. You can add the repository also, and you can configure the domains also. Here if you adding the domain first time, then you have to configure the domains, and you have to click on this, and you have to add domain name, gateway host, and gateway port. Then only you will get the all the repository. So here I am connecting to this repository, which is rep_trng. To connect to the repository, you have to double click on it, and this window will come, and here you have to give username and password and click on the connect option, and it will connect. And you can see the folder also. Inside the folder you will be having source, target, mappings, and everything you will be having it. Inside the repository you can see different folders will come, whatever folder is already created inside the repository. So this is the repository manager where you can add the repository, you can configure the domains, and you can see the folder list inside the repository. Second client tool, we will be having a PowerCenter designer. You can separately also open this tool, and you can just click on this icon, D icon, and it will open. Here you can see we are already connected to this repository, and inside the repository you will be having this folder. And what is designer is, this is a mapping designer tool. Here you can create your mapping. Here I just dragged the mapping which I already created. You can see options over here. This is the source analyzer where you can drag the sources, and second is target analyzer. Here you can drag the targets. Next is transformation developer. Another one is maplet designer, and another one is mapping designer. Here what you can do is you can create new mappings. You have to click on the mapping and click on the create option, and you can give any name starting with m underscore, and the mapping will be created. And you can drag source, or you can use multiple transformation. You can drag the targets. So this is how you load the data from source to target. In between transformation you will be using. Here I have used expression transformation. You will get to know about another transformation also in another videos. And we will open workflow manager. Inside the workflow manager, you can create the workflow. You will be having the integration service. You can see these many workflows I already created here. What you can do is you have to click on the workflow and you have to click on create option. Similarly, click on the task and you have to click on the create option. So task means the sessions will be created, and you can right click on the session, you can validate the session, you can refresh the mapping, or you can run the session also. If you want to start whole workflow, then what you can do is on the left hand side you can see workflow list, right click on it and start the workflow, so whole workflow will start. And if you want to set up a connection, then you have to click on the connection and you can set up the connection with all the details. So this is all the things you can do in the workflow manager. Now we will get to know about workflow monitor. In workflow monitor, when you will connect to the repository, you will be having integration service. You have to connect with integration service, then you will be able to see the folders. And inside the folders you will see all the workflow list which previously ran, or what is the state you have to check, then you can check in the workflow monitor. So suppose I am starting this workflow and or this session I'm starting. So now the running state and everything you can check in the workflow monitor. You can see the session and the workflow got succeeded. And if you want to check the source and target statistics, it means how many rows got loaded into the target, how many got rejected, you can check over here. And if you want to check the session log, just you have to right click on the session and click on this get session log. Suppose if any job fails, you want to check an error, then you have to check in the session log. So this is all about the workflow monitor. So that's all. I hope you got an overview about Informatica and how the thing works. In upcoming videos, you will get to know about all the transformations and many more things. If you like this video, then please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.